Hey guys, welcome back to Last Movie Standing. Or I guess I should welcome myself back because I've been gone for about a week. I guess I haven't posted anything, haven't really been active on social in the comments. I'll just be honest with you guys, I have not been okay. It's just depression sucks. And I was sitting here thinking, I want to make a video, but I don't want to just fake and turn it on and be like, oh my God, look at it. Because, I have a list of movies that I want to talk about, but they're kind of more upbeat movies, and I haven't really been in an upbeat mood. And one thing I've learned about this community and this channel is there's a lot more people that can relate to just real shit. And going through depression's a real shit. A friend dies, your job sucks, it's the holiday season, depression can hit. So I've been going through it the last week. And I just want to talk about movies because movies are therapeutic for me. I watch a lot of movies. I go back to old ones I haven't rewatched in a while. And there's a bunch on here that I feel like kind of help me with depression or is stuff I can relate to. Some I just used to get out. So it's not just like feel good movies. It's more like I can relate to these. That and some are just, to get me out of my fucking head. Because that's where I feel like I've lived the past week. I've been in my head, which is not a fun place. So first off, I want to start with my favorite Adam Sandler movie. I can watch this 20 times a week and be like, I love this movie. It's literally my favorite Adam Sandler movie. Just Go With It, with Jennifer Aniston. Nicole Kidman's in this movie too. Just Go With It is about a plastic surgeon he's a single bachelor who uses having a wedding ring to get girls, and his assistant is Jennifer Aniston, and he's kind of using her. He kind of falls for the supermodel played by Brooklyn Decker. Is it Brooklyn Decker? She was kind of this big Sports Illustrated. She was like the biggest Sports Illustrated model at the time when this came out. I think it's like 2012 this came out. I don't remember. But this is just a fun movie. It's so beautiful. It takes place in Hawaii. First part's in LA, second part's in Hawaii. It's got Madison. What's her name? She's not on the credits. Why is that? On the back. The little girl from Brothers. She was in Strangers Pray at Night. She's so good in this. Such a fun movie, and it's so beautiful to just look at. Like, this Blu-ray is one of the best looking Blu-rays I have. Like, just how it captures the colors for Hawaii. Like, if I had any movie that I wish would come to 4K, I feel like this would be the best movie to upgrade to 4K. I don't think it will. It doesn't need it. This Blu-ray is absolutely amazing, but if you're just ever like need a feel good kind of movie to just take you out of whatever slump you're in, I highly recommend Just Go With It. Because sometimes it reminds you, just fucking go with it, This next one. This is the closest movie I could put to When Harry Met Sally. Because I was going to put When Harry Met Sally on this list. But I didn't want to just double dip, or double dip because I'm going to make another video about Harry Met Sally later. But Sleeping with Other People. Sleeping with Other People is literally the modern day When Harry Met Sally. It is so good. It's criminal how good it is. And I'm going to tell you something I just found out. Just found this out the other day. So I just upgraded this to Blu-ray recently. I've had the DVD for a couple years. And one thing I've realized, or I noticed when watching it, because when you're kind of going through shit and you're just on the couch and you just kind of hit play again over and over, you don't really switch movies. You just kind of constantly replay because you don't want to think about it. I didn't realize this movie was written and directed by Leslie Headland. Now, if you know that name, Leslie Headland is going through shit in the media right now because she's the showrunner for that Star Wars Disney Plus show, The Acolyte, which I have not seen, so I can't really comment. I just heard it's like one of the worst things ever, But she wrote and directed this movie with Jason Sudeikis and Alison Brie, which is one of the best independent romantic comedies I have ever seen in my life. It is so good. It is literally When Harry Met Sally, but instead of them. So when Harry Met Sally, they basically just know each other. They take a car ride to college, and then they keep seeing each other years later, and then they finally end up together. Spoiler alert. I know there's some people in the comments that get mad at me if I spoil a movie. Harry Met Sally's like 40 years old. If you have not seen it, But this movie is basically the same concept, except they sleep together. They lose their virginities to each other in college at the beginning. And then they go through this cycle of just being like best friends. They're not even friends with benefits. Like they only slept together that one time in college, and then after that, I don't know. It's a really charming, cute, fun, romantic, sexy movie. I absolutely love this movie. And if you haven't seen it, it's a very high recommend. Especially if you like When Harry Met Sally, you will love Sleeping with Other People. It's so good. Garden State. Do y'all remember when Zach Braff was like a big thing? Zach Braff was like this like indie filmmaker darling. Did he write this too? Yeah, he wrote and directed Garden State. And if you're like going through depression, I feel like this is the most relatable movie. It's such a feel good. The music, oh my god, the music in this movie, it gets me. Natalie Portman's performance in it is so good. She's not autistic or anything. She's just, I don't know. There's something, I forget what it is, but the character she plays is so beautiful and charming, and just, I don't know. I can relate to Zach Braff. Like he goes home to basically bury his mother. I think that's what it is, and he's detached. It takes place in New Jersey. It's got Steven Skarsgård in it. The filmmaking is so good, but I very highly recommend this. I need to upgrade this to Blu-ray because it is Fox, and right now when it comes to upgrades, 20th Century Fox are kind of my number ones right now. This is from 2004. That's how old this movie is. So this was like right after Star Wars, after she did Star Wars, or like in between. I think this is after Star Wars. She did them all, but very, very high recommend. This next one just goes without saying. It is fun. It is funny. You can't go wrong with Just Friends. Just Friends is literally one of the best romantic comedies ever. Ryan Reynolds, Amy Smart, fucking Anna Faris is absolutely hilarious in this movie. It's a Christmas movie, so it's perfect for this time of year. And the opening scene with him in the fat suit gets me every time. And I've said this before because I've talked about this movie before, but is it Chris Klein? I always get his name confused because it's like Chris Klein, Kevin Klein. Chris Klein, who plays Oz in American Pie. I've never really liked him in any movies. Even in American Pie, he's just kind of like the second or third. He's not really the best character. He's okay. He's just part of the group. But he kills it in this. It's like the bad guy. He's so good. But Just Friends always puts me in a good mood. Always. Like, I don't know. Especially with Christmas coming up, it's like a perfect feel-good Christmas movie. And I can relate. I can relate to all these. This next one's kind of weird. I've actually just watched this for the first time. Like, I've had this DVD for probably about a year. I've never seen this. Never grew up watching this. But I watched it like 3 times this week. And it may seem kind of weird, but Mannequin. The first Mannequin. I watched them both, but the first Mannequin, seeing it so many years later, because I didn't grow up with it, yeah, it's a little weird how obsessed this kid is with this mannequin before she comes to life. Kim Cattrall is so beautiful in this. in this movie. The second one has the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Christy Swanson. I'm blanking on her name. And she's great in the second one, but the second movie is kind of lower tier. But what I love about this first one that really surprised me, one, the music. It's very 80s. This is one of the most, if I had to pick top 5 most 80s movies that just felt like an 80s movie, I would put this up there. Mannequin 1. The montages, the music, the lighting, the whole, like, the guy falls in love with the man. Like, it's very 80s. And I don't know, it was just really fun to watch, to where I spent like a whole day on a couch just like replay, because it was just kind of fun. So, not one I would just recommend to anybody, but if you've seen it and you grew up with it, you know, revisit Mannequin, because it's really good. But it's also one of these where if you're watching it now, like I'm just watching for the first time, it may be like, yeah, this guy's a little weird. He's got a little bit of an obsession with this mannequin. This next one, it's just a guilty pleasure. I can put this on and just zone out of the world. And it's a bad movie. I know this, but it's a guilty pleasure for me. Gods of Egypt. I've seen it so many times, I can just put it on and turn my brain off. Takes me to another world. You know, I don't have to think about anything. It's just, I don't know. It's comfort food. It's what this is. It's just comfort food. It's eating a whole box of pizza by yourself on a Friday night. It's what this movie is. Ice cream. It's just dumb fun. Despicable Me 3. I like all the Despicable Me's, but there's something about that third one. I just really like Despicable Me 3. I hate this case. I hate with a passion how they did this. It doesn't even say Despicable Me on the side. I just have to know. It just says Illumination 3 movie collection. When it's on the shelf, it doesn't say Despicable Me. These are the DVDs, so I gotta upgrade. But I may just get them all individual because I don't like the... I don't know. That's a packaging nitpick. But... And it goes back to the 80s thing. Maybe when I'm depressed, I just go to the 80s. Maybe that's my age. I don't know. Because Take Me Home Tonight was going to be on this list. But I wanted to separate the feel-good movies from this list. Because some of these are feel-good movies, but they're more movies when I'm just feeling in the mud. I can just put these on and just... It kind of helps a little bit. And Despicable Me, just that opening scene, gets me every time. Absolutely love it. And then sometimes there are movies you just want to watch because it feels good to cry. I almost made a whole video like movies that make grown men cry, and this is one of them. I'm sorry. Meet Joe Black gets me every time. This is such an amazing movie to me. It's about death. I think it's a remake of a movie called Death Takes a Holiday. And you know, when you're I'm not saying I've been thinking about death. I'm not that depressed. But, you know, it's kind of surreal watching a movie about death, the Grim Reaper. Just wanting to live life. You know, and when you're like going through it, it kind of gives you hope a little bit. You know, and the ending with the cinematography for this movie is... It's some of the best. It really is. It's done by I can't pronounce his name. Emmanuel Lubezki, I think. He did The Revenant. He did Birdman. He did, you know, Sleepy Hollow. He did, I think, Deathly Hallows or something. But he killed it with this movie, cinematography wise. Like Brad Pitt's performance in it is so good. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It's a love story. But at the end, with their fireworks and they're saying they're good. You know, Anthony Hopkins knows he's going to die because Brad Pitt is there to collect him. It's his time to go, but he's like postponing it because Death falls in love with Anthony Hopkins' daughter. And he just uses the body of this guy that she met earlier in a cafe. I don't want to talk too much about this yet because I have another video. I actually have like 2 things coming up where this movie gets mentioned. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but this movie's important to me too. It holds sentimental value. It's from what I'm told, it was one of my grandpa's favorite movies, and sometimes when every time when I put it on, I think of him a little bit, and so yeah, Meet Joe Black gets me every time, and I think it's one of the greatest, to me, one of the greatest movies ever made that nobody talks about. I fucking love it. And it's from Universal. I think this on a 4K would look absolutely amazing, but the Blu-ray, so good. Back to a lighter note. That movie gets me. Groundhog's Day. I would say Groundhog's Day with an S, because I don't know, Groundhog Day just grammarly just feels a little weird to me, but this is such a fun movie. Andy McDowell, Bill Murray. We can relate to this movie. Everybody wants that, can we start over? Can we try again? And this movie started a whole genre in and of itself of Groundhog Day movies. I can't tell you how that trope is it's like beating a dead horse at this point, because so many people do it. But the original, it works. It's so fun. It's directed by the late great Harold Ramis. Absolutely amazing performance. Andy McDowell is just so beautiful, and I mean, it's Bill Murray being top-notch Bill Murray in this. So Groundhog's Day is very high recommend. I figure most people who watch this channel have seen Groundhog's Day, so I don't feel like I need to recommend that movie, but I would say recheck it out, especially with the holidays and Christmas and everything, because the whole movie takes place during the snow in the wintertime, and it's so good. Last on this list, and this movie I can really relate to. It is an independent movie that I feel is just criminally underrated. Nobody talks about it. Adult Beginners. I love this movie, and this movie God, I'm talking about movies I might talk about on another video, but I'm just spoiling it here. Adult Beginners I feel I can relate to, because I have an older sister that, if you've seen this movie, okay, so this movie is about a guy, Nick Kroll. He's got this tech job. He's in LA. He's he's living the big life, and then he messes up big time. Gets fired. Nobody wants anything to do with him. He basically loses everything. So he goes home to go see his sister. His sister, who, is having she's played by Rose Byrne, and I love Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne I will watch in anything, and it's featuring her husband in real life, Bobby Cannavale, and Joe McHale is in this movie too. Joe McHale's got a very small role, but it's kind of about a guy who has to re-find himself, being an uncle kind of for the first time, reconnecting with his sister who's going through her own marital problems. I don't know, I feel I can relate to this movie more than any other movie, just because I have that kind of relationship with my sister, and where I can lean on her, and if I ever needed to go there, God damn, I'm gonna cry talking. I don't know if I'm gonna post this video. I'm thank God I have glasses on, because my eyes are red right now. But I don't know. This movie just means a lot to me, and when I watch it, it helps me realize, the shit you're going through is other people go through worse shit than you, and there's always that pick me up. I don't know, but that's my list of movies that I feel like they help me with depression. And I'm sorry I haven't been making videos. I'm right now, but it's been a rough week. Hopefully I'm at the tail end of it. I can feel I'm at the tail end of it, and it'll get better, and hopefully I can just start cranking out videos again. But I don't know. Sometimes life just gets in the way. And I'm just glad I have a library of movies to comfort that, like things I can physically touch and physically put in instead of just sitting there like this on streaming the whole time. And yeah, so I hope to get more videos out soon. I really do. I didn't mean for it to take this long of a break from posting. I'm gonna try to go through all the comments I missed and things on Instagram, but yeah, I'm sorry, guys. You know, sometimes we need movies like this to just help us get through tough shit, you know? Sometimes we need a community to help, get us back to ourselves. I sitting in this chair was like, I felt like a wave of comfort over me just sitting back here. And I apologize for not posting anything lately, but like I'm wearing glasses. I don't know if you can see. Like I'm not okay. Uh it's been rough.